ticket holder of the Jets I'm going to fool, Ken O'Brien of California Davis.
Obviously, the Jets know something that, the people up there don't. Fullback. Hello.
Roger Vick, Jeff Lageman.
Jets just don't understand the draft all about.
Blair Thomas, running back, Penn State. Johnny Mitchell. The New York Jets select tight end from Penn State, Kyle Brady. Vernon Golson.
Cleveland traded the 5th pick to the New York Jets. And with the 5th pick in the 2009 NFL Draft, New York Jets select Mark Sanchez.
D. Milner.
Dino Smith. Jets select quarterback Christian Hackenberg.
Sam Darnold.
The New York Jets select Zach Wilson.
Future Pro Bowler, Elijah Moore.
Michael Carter, running back.
Oh, I should get the microphone. Everybody, how you doing over there? We're back for what is really, we're getting close to the wire here. We're running out of time to do this amazing show that Dom and I love so much, the 10 o'clock mock, everybody. Welcome back. Right, yeah. I am GreenBean. I'm happy to be here. And then, as always, I am joined by the ever-present, ever-amazing, really good-looking fella, Dom C. How are you tonight with your baseball cap on?
I'm good, GreenBean, and I do have to compliment you, my friend. 2 things. One, the first time probably since we were kids that I haven't seen you with a hat on. Secondly, your camera is beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you. Thanks for noticing.
Crystal clear. How about that?
Yeah. I'll tell you guys a short story before we get into everything and tell you the rules of engagement for the 10 o'clock mock. I have for a while, when I film my standalones, my podcast and everything, I have a camera that designated at 60 frames per second. It's really good, crystal clear. And then for years I was using a Canon Rebel T7 for the live streams. Well, what was happening, it just like the batteries and everything. And then I got a charger and it pulls out and it became a pain in the ass. So I started going for a couple of weeks. I said, let me just do it easily. I opened my laptop and used the camera on the computer. And then I've been doing that for like a year and a half because it's just so easy. Open it up, hit boop, and you're done. My wife watched it was actually the Talking Jets panel 2 weeks ago. And my wife texted me, you look grainy. You need a camera, blah, blah. I said, yeah. My wife literally had enough. Went out, got me a new camera. One day I was back here just a couple days ago. I was back here working and she just walked in to my studio, said, let me sit down for a second. I said, okay, what's going on? And she hooked it all up and said, now you're okay. Enough with you and your lazy ass dragging your feet. So here we are. It's a little off center. So I would have to look over here to look at you guys. So I'm going to see how I feel about it tonight. And then I could maybe move it, but where anyway. So, hey, thanks for noticing, Dom C. And I hope you guys out there notice as well. And let me know if you like it in the chat. As you know, we keep our eyes on the chat, Dom C. Do we not?
We do.
We love the chat. And look, Tampa Jets fan says, grainy blasphemy, Mrs. Bean.
Isn't that Tampa Joe? Is that what the
Tampa Pete?
Tampa Pete.
Yeah, that's my guy, Tampa Pete. Cadoza says, yeah, GreenBean looking shiny. All right. Yeah. Harlan's here. Look at all these guys. Right. Cadoza says, oh, thank you. Stop it. You guys are going to make me blush and shit. Sluggo says 4K GreenBean.
That's right. That's exactly what it looks like. I'm
jealous. It's exactly what it is. It's a 4K camera. Now we have 10K, 12K, 4K is not so good, but I guess, I don't know. But hey, here we are. I'm delighted. I feel good. It's nice to look good. Sometimes you just settle in life and it's not okay to settle, Dom. It's not okay. Let's see what else we got. Who came in first tonight? Kevin Callahan started us off. Good evening, all. All right, yeah, let's get our mock on. Get that mock on. So let's see who else. Dunker Sloot's in the house. Our buddy Big Green. Hey, douche. There you go. That's when you know you're friends. Hey, douche.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, hey.
It's a term of endearment.
Right, exactly. Been a while. You get that automatic chicken door link I sent you on Instagram. No, I didn't see it, man. But the truth is, I'm trying not to tend to Instagram like I do. I'm actively trying because boy, oh boy, not only can it put me in a bad mood sometimes, but dude, I sit down and go, I got 5 minutes. Let me just chill out. And I look and it's an hour and 15 minutes is gone. So I'm trying not to do that, but I'll check it out, Big Green. You know I love you, so anything you send, I know is going to be laced with goodness. Jets Paulie's here. That's right, doing the green bean chant. Sean, the Jets fan, love this guy. So I put a poll up there, guys. Give me your opinion in the poll. Just threw some guys. Hey, if the guys you didn't like that, that you're not used to taking, the guys you want, the Tyler Warrens, the Membus, the Tech McMillans, or if these guys were up there, who you taking? I'm real curious to see. I got 2 defense and 2 offense. Some names that have kind of bubbled up to the surface over the past week or two.
Let's see. Let me pull it up and look myself.
Let's see. Bradigan's here. Yeah. Love Chris Bradigan. Flight Boys in the house. And Jets, our buddies here. Harlan Abraham. That's right. Loving some Bradigan. I love that you guys love each other. I just, it tickles me. I thoroughly enjoy the camaraderie in the chat and how, look, we've become very much a community. And look, in most instances, we've never met in person, right? And it's but we're buds, right? We're buds. And I love that. Sean McAteer's in the house. Love it, Sean. All right. Who else we got here? Eddie McGuire's in the house. Yeah, look, Dunker Sloot says 2 more weeks. 2 more mocks. Yeah, that's it.
One more. What we got one more for me because I will be away next week.
Where are you going again, Dom? You going to Dark Retreat?
Yeah, we're going. I'm gonna go eat some mushrooms with Aaron Rodgers, trying to find out where he's going to end up. Yeah, trying to find out where he's end up. No, we're packing the kids in the car. We're heading down the East Coast. Gonna do some time in DC. Maybe. Haven't finalized yet because it's early in the season. Might actually dip down to Busch Gardens.
Ooh, let me know.
Yeah, well, I don't think they're open.
Did you know they are open? They open in May. It's not May though, is it?
Yeah, it's not May.
Maybe it was March. King's Dominion opened last weekend.
Yeah.
But listen, did you hear about the Big Bad Wolf?
Negative.
Do you know about the Big Bad Wolf? So the Big Bad Wolf was a legendary coaster. It's what Busch Gardens was known for. It was an old arrow inverted and it swung and all this kind of stuff through this neighborhood and everything. But it was famously had 2 drops and all this stuff. So they took it out. They replaced it with a roller coaster called Verbolten. And that's a great coaster too. But so just this year, they built what's called a family invert. So it's not quite as extreme as Alpengeist and some of these others, but it's called the Big Bad Wolf, the Revenge, and it's the world's longest family invert by B&M, which is the big one. So It's a medium coaster, but it has 2 lift hills, super long, and it looks like an absolute blast. So I'm really excited about that. And then they got the new Dark Coaster too, which is an indoor coaster, the Dark Castle coaster. So you'll have a blast. Let me know if you're going because I've been hankering.
Yeah, so I mean we're gonna be spending some time up and down in Baltimore and then in DC. And then I said, well, it's because my wife is a huge history buff.
Yeah,
she's a history nut. So she loves to do, your typical touristy stuff. And we've done DC before, but we're going to do it again. But, we're going to go see the where Lincoln got shot and do all that.
Oh, I
that
love
kind
Ford
of stuff,
Theater.
which
Love
is
Ford Theater.
do all that stuff. But I said, while we're down here, let's, we'll hit up Great Great Adventure, the America one over there, and that park's not real great. And she's like, we left there. We were all concussed last time from the coasters there. So I said, we travel 3 more hours, something like that. We can be in Virginia, go to Busch Gardens and something like that.
Yeah, and or you could do King's Dominion, which is a little closer to the north side.
Yeah.
So let me know. Let me know, man.
I will.
I'm around, man. So let's see. We got Bradigan in the house all the way from New Zealand. Jake Asman checking in first tonight says, you can smell Jets draft greatness coming, boys. There it is. All right. Good to see you, Jake. Jakey Jakerton. All right, man. Glad you're with us. I saw someone else. Oh, another one from Jake. Here he is. Death, taxes, and Dom C. There he is.
It's about 17 more days, Jake, and then I go in
him. He says.
I go into hibernation for the month of May and June.
Yeah, as you should. You've earned it. I saw just quickly. Answer this one quickly for Braden. He says, "Hey, how do I get your draft guide? Is there a way that anybody can get it just yet, or is that
so?" For the third consecutive year, I've spent countless hours breaking down prospects and film and writing scouting reports, and I haven't presented it to the masses yet. My goal was 2 years ago was to do it. My goal this year was to put it out, and I just still am not satisfied with it. So, Braden, only a couple select few people have access to it because if they make fun of me, I don't really get offended.
Yeah.
GreenBean does, Matt does, Ryan, Jeremy, and Jake, I think, are the only 5 people that have access to it. But
no Tigo? You said no.
I don't know. The Tigo might also. I'm not sure.
I approve of him not getting it.
So
he's just gonna be like, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like that. You know what I mean? Say, shut up, Tigo.
So next year, for sure, one is going out. I haven't decided if I'm going to roll out the one similar to what I've been doing, which is very comprehensive and takes me a long time, or I might do I wrote for a draft guide this year. I actually did one. So I might kind of just pick off of their concept. Theirs is it's a draft guide, but they base it towards the Green Bay Packers. So I might do something similar to the Jets because I think it's a little bit more palatable, a little bit more digestible. And I've already got Dylan Terraman, good friend, Jet Nation. Nice. He's on board and he's going to help me out. So I think we're going to...
I introduced you guys. Yes, I did.
You did. Right. So I think that's going to be the goal for 2026, Braden.
All right, there you go. So not just yet, buddy. But that, look, the anticipation. One more from Jake says, good to see Dom rocking the 01 Jeremy Giambi look.
So I coach my boys in baseball, and my oldest is actually on the A's. So the team bought me an A's hat. So I'm rocking it.
I like it. There you go. Remember when we stole Giambi and the rest of the Major League Baseball world said, like, no, like, you're not supposed to go to the Yankees. You know what I mean? Like, they can get anybody. Like, he was one of the guys. I remember back then, a lot of people were very angry when Giambi went to the Yankees. Bomber says I look like Santa. Well, hey, thank you. There's worse guys to be associated with than the guy who spends his entire year prepping and then delivering free toys to the kids around the world. I mean, shit. All right, guys. So here's the rules. Tonight, it is the Monday night 10 o'clock mock, as you've come to know. If it's your first time here, welcome aboard. What we do here is this. Each week, we establish and are governed by a theme, okay? So the theme of the mock will kind of dictate how we go about our mock. And what the reasoning for that is so we... number one, are forced to look at the draft through a different lens than when you just pick up a mock, you pick up PFN or whatever, and it goes, hey, you want to trade with the... Here, let me use the new view and see how we do.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Oh, that's not going to work. Okay,
Yep.
we're good. Let me see. There we
you
go. We'll do that. Okay, sorry. So, I mean, every week I get DMs like, "That's the stupidest." I'm just going to tell you, we do this as a constructive exercise to force us to look at the draft through different angles and different lenses. Now, there's a couple benefits. One is, what if it wasn't as neat and tidy as we thought? Any team can do something before you that throws your whole plan into the fire, so to speak. So that's one thing, is to kind of see how we adapt. The other thing is it causes you to look at different players, and therefore we can learn. As a collective, Dom sees an expert in this. He puts more time in than most. Dom is, a graduate of Scout School and all that stuff. So he knows his stuff. He writes for publications and all that. So he's good guy to bounce shit off of. And we start to learn a little bit more about these guys that we're going to see in the drafts. When we get to these mid to late rounds, when we're watching the draft on the Talking Jets channel with Ryan, Matt O'Leary, and myself for the 5th straight year, will be all from an hour before pick 1 to an hour after the last pick. We'll be with you. So when we get into that nitty gritty, you kind of know who we're talking about. We can still keep it going. It's not like watching Game 4 of the preseason in 1996. You know what I mean? You're like, who the fuck are these guys? So anyway, that's what we're doing. The way that we do it is that we put a poll in the chat for you guys to vote. There's a 3-minute timer for the first 3 rounds or so, and then we drop it to 2 minutes. What we hope is that you guys get as engaged as possible. Put your votes in there. It's your draft. Dom and I don't want to just make all the picks. That's boring. And we can do that on our own. So we want you guys to do it, to see what we come up with at the end of the draft. We'll get our grades and see how we did. Before we start, Dom, I'm going to end the poll I have up there now. We had 94 votes out of 145 on YouTube. We got another 50 or so on X right now. Let's see how this poll landed. So the question was, who you taking if these guys are there and the other guys you like aren't? So we got Will Campbell at the top with 41%. I almost didn't put him. He's a little bit too popular. But Will Campbell, 41%. Ashton Genty, 21%. Jihad Campbell came in with 19%. And Jalen Walker, who we're hearing some hubbub about this week, with 18%. So they still went offensive tackle, Dom. So we get a little
never
idea.
fails. It never fails.
And Matthew Malavey, our buddy, checking in. Dom is the GOAT. I've learned a lot from him here.
Oh, well, then
There you go.
all worth it. All worth it, right?
And that's the goal. So if you're ready, Dom, I'd like to start the festivities. You ready, chat?
I'm ready. So we got the PFN mock draft up just to change it up.
The theme, Dom.
The theme is the crazy Jetsfan theme, right?
Well, it's not just Jet fans. It came from somewhere else.
So let me give you the backstory on this. At least what I know.
Here we go. Let's do it. I'm in. No, I'm in. Let's go.
So there was a sports radio talk show host in Atlanta who, was covered the Falcons. It's an Atlanta Falcons sports or Atlanta sports radio show. And he just came out and tweeted something, and it said that the Falcons and the Jets have had discussions about a possible trade, with the Falcons' goal is getting in front of Carolina, who is probably dead set on taking an edge rusher. And those who know Atlanta know that their edge rushers, they're like the Jets prior to maybe 2022. Yeah, where they, it seems like, God, it must have been 10. Hugh Douglas was the last good edge, I think, that we drafted, right?
Well, Abraham.
Oh, Abraham, that's right. That's fair. But they're just void of pressure and edge rusher. So that's a definite need. They know that Carolina, a divisional opponent, is very much so in need of edge rushers. And the name that's been ballied about is one Jalen Walker.
Right.
Everyone seems to be keen on him. So
That's who they'd like to jump up for,
yeah,
right?
he mentioned that the Falcons and the Jets have had some discussions. And then it turned into, we're getting everything that Atlanta owns, plus, Raheem Morris's firstborn, Arthur Blank's Mercedes collection, this, that, and the other thing.
Well, what's fair is fair.
To move down from 7 to 15. So
yeah.
I think GreenBean just is going with that flow and going with that elaboration.
Well, we'll see. We'll like to see what it looks like, so we can talk about it. Oh, it's so great, blah blah. But what does it look like?
That's right.
In an actual draft. So the rumor is, at least the one we're grabbing on, is that the Falcons are trying to offload Pitts. Right. That's what they're trying to do. So they're saying, hey, you jump up. You let us jump up 8 spots into the top 10, which is expensive, right? So you're going to do that. I know the chart says whatever. So we'll give you Pitts to hold you over this year, and then you get next year's first. So nice and simple. We get a first next year, and we get Kyle Pitts, and it helps the tight end room. I mean, look, he hasn't nowhere near his draft billing, right? He was the 4th overall pick. He has not touched that, but he's not a bum either. He had, I think, 500 or so yards last year.
He had 1,000 yards his rookie year.
Yeah, and he had like 6 2 years ago, 500 or so last year, something like that. So again, not what you expected, but again, you got to look at the variables, right? And different quarterback every year, all that kind of stuff. But truth is, he's been a disappointment, but he's not washed either. So who knows? New environment, all those kinds of things. So you get him, and then you get a first next year, and we stay in the first. We move back 8 spots. So that's what we're going to do.
Yeah. Now, PFN does not allow you to trade players, or maybe at least with the free version, maybe with the subscription you can, which we don't have. So we're going to use our little make-believe minds here, and we're going to force the trade to 7 to 15.
If we just offer that for nothing, they're going to take it.
Yeah. So the real deal is we're going back from 7 to 15. We're getting
try to grab their first. Let's see if it works.
I doubt it's going to work.
Yeah, okay.
It's been rejected. We're just gonna pretend.
Yeah, so
that we get there first.
Exactly.
That we get there first, and Kyle Pitts. That's the deal. When I hit propose, it's been accepted. Shocker. So
amazing.
We have there first and Kyle Pitts. So
right,
Kyle Pitts is now tight end 1. You assume, unless you guys choose to go a different route.
Right.
Still take a tight end.
Who knows what they'll do? We do have Colton Strange or whatever the fuck is Carson Steele or what's his name?
Steel Smart.
Smart Steel. Yeah.
No, is it Stone Smart?
Stone Smart. There it is.
So, guys, remember a couple things. One, this is your draft. You guys make the decisions. We just facilitate the people that you're going to vote on, who's going where. And secondly, we will entertain trades, but only in the first 2 rounds. Otherwise, we'll be here till 3 a.m.
Right. So here we go. Let's do this thing.
All right. So we are up at 15, guys, and we will get her going.
All right. Let's see who they take.
They took Mason Graham. That's who they traded up for.
After they did all that, they couldn't do it. They're like, last minute, can't do the edge.
All right. Before we look at the trades, let's look. Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, Will Campbell to the Giants at 3, Armand Membu, Will Johnson, Travis Hunter all the way to 6, Mason Graham, Shamar Stewart, Shador Sanders, Calvin Banks, Tyler Warren, Ashton Genty, Jalen Walker, Colston Loveland. Now, this is good.
Wow.
You know why, GreenBean, this is good? It's going to force us to go in a direction we haven't really talked about much.
That's right. But the first thing we'll do is we'll entertain some trades here. What do we got, Dom?
Oh, no. I might have deleted the trades.
No. Just look at
trade offer.
You said no? Yeah.
No. Trade offer. So you got 2 here. The first one is we go back from 15 to 23, and we'll also pick up Green Bay's second. The next one is trading out of the first round completely, and you get a second and 2/3 plus a second next year for pick 15 and a 6th rounder.
All right, so hold on. This is to pick 38. I'm only putting the top pick. What was the Packers one again? Pick 23. All right. That's where we're sliding back. So we got the Packers, the Pats.
Or no trade.
Or no. Okay, so there's only 3. Okay, so let's take. I'm going to put the poll up there, but we'll explore this. So, guys, we have 3 minutes. We got the Packers trade, the Pats trade, and no trade. Let's start the timer. Here it goes. All right, Dom. So let's take a look at this.
Yeah.
We're sliding back 8 more spots, and we get pick 54.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is good value. It's fair value right there.
Fair value, but we already slid back 8 spots. So do we want to do that again?
Yeah, and you saw all the guys that came off the board. It was 15 here.
Yeah, we got taken there. So let's look at the Pats.
The second one is you go all the way back in the second, get out of the first completely, but you're getting 2/3 and a second next year. So that would give us 2 firsts, 2 seconds, no third, 2 fourths with the with the comp pick that we're getting for Reddick, a 5th, 2 6th, and 2 7th. So we'd have more ammunition than you would know than you would ever. Only Idzik would use all those picks. Only he's stupid enough to use every single one of those picks.
Right. I'll tell you what, though, if Justin Fields flops, you got the ammo you need, buddy.
Yes, you do.
You got the ammo.
Now,
if we're not already up there.
I'm not trying to sway anyone here, but it would be a cold day in hell before I traded with New England. It would.
You know what? I can appreciate and respect that, but that was one of the positives for me with Joe Douglas. He didn't give a shit. He came right out of the gate. His first year, he's trading with the Pats. He's trading with the Giants.
He traded with Buffalo last year. Remember, he gave them Codrington?
No, we just cut him, didn't we?
No. We got a 7th rounder in 2026 for him.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
We got a 7th rounder in 2026 for Brandon Codrington.
Yeah, I like that. Like, I get it. It would have to be, really beneficial to me, but I like not being hamstrung because of some perceived, division, whatever. If it can benefit me.
Yeah,
right.
I'm petty, GreenBean. I'm
petty.
I
get it. I am too. I get it. But I did appreciate that with Joe Douglas. All right, we got less than a minute left, guys. Get your votes in. We only got 53 votes, guys. Let's go. And it's neck and neck between the Packers and no trade right now.
Oof.
So it's really it's tight. So you got to get your votes in, guys. We got just under 180 in the House, and only 55 people voted. What do you think's going on, Dom?
Yeah, well, they're not gonna put their signature in ink. How can they say what a shitty draft at the end of this?
Right.
Give us an F grade if they're the ones who are committing to it.
Yeah, we gotta get it going. Infrared says, "Whoa, hold up, no trade." Well, make sure your vote's in there, Infrared. Julio agrees with you. Says, "No way to New England, man."
That's right.
All right, the poll is over. Let me just end the timer. And we are going to end it. It looks like we're trading. Oh, we're definitely trading, Dom. Let's try to squeeze the apple, or the lemon, the orange. Let's throw in a little something.
You want to get a third rounder back for next year?
I don't know. Maybe not that much. I don't know if that'll do.
All right. So let's see. Maybe 237.
Yeah. Got a little sugar for the top of the cake. There we go. See that? We said we'll do it, but we want this.
And they traded up for T-Mac.
Look at that. There goes Golden. There goes Starks.
There goes Tyler Booker.
Yeah. Look at all those guys. All right. So we got one more.
We got more trades here. This one would go down 2 for a 2nd rounder next year, but they want our 4th too.
All right. So it's only one option.
3 options.
Oof. Okay. So we got Houston going back to pick 50.
So Houston.
Oh, it's 25.
And then the Rams want us to go back to 26, and they'll throw us a third rounder in there, 101. And then Seattle wants us to go all the way back. They'll give us 2 seconds and a second next year. So I don't know if I'd consider this. This is one of those, hey, let's try to sneak in a little.
So they want to give us 1 second and a second. Oh, yeah. So 50 and 52. That's so 3 seconds. Interesting. Well, we got to throw in 145, and then we have no trade. All right. This will be the last one we entertain, I think, in the first year. So let's do it. I'll do a 2-minute poll. All right, guys, get your votes in. I really thought no trade was going to happen. I didn't like either one of those trades, to be honest with you.
I voted no trade.
Yeah, I would have stayed right at 15.
I would have as well.
So let's look at who's on the ball. Let's look at those trades again, just so people can bet, or not bet, but vote honestly.
So Houston wants us to go back 2 picks, and they want to take our 4th rounder, but they'll give us a second next year. I don't like that I don't like that value. I don't.
Interesting.
This one is the interesting one because you're only going back 3 spots. You're
I
not
don't
giving
know. I
anything
think the
up.
first one's interesting too, Dom. 2 spots to get a second next year. I mean, you lose that 4th, but anyway, go on. I'm just saying.
And then the Rams, you go back 3 spots and get a 3rd. And then this one's kind of crazy talk right here.
That is. That's something though.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're trying to do.
But you look on the board here, right? And if you like the offensive line, if you're a build the trenches guy, you still got some tackles, right? You still got Josh Simmons, you still got Josh Connerly, who are both 1st-round talents.
Mm-hmm.
Simmons is coming back from an injury. If you're and then if you like the wide receivers, man, this is the time to go get Emeka Egbuka, Luther Burden.
Right.
Good compliment.
No
and
I saw even Worry up there still, so we'll probably add him if we stick around.
Yeah, Jihad Campbell's here, Walter Nolan, Gray Zabel. I mean, they're still great players here. They're still absolutely great players. So, interesting. The 8 o'clock show that I do with Ryan, the New York Talking Jets draft show, we had Will Parkinson on GreenBean.
Yeah, I saw that. Great interview.
Yeah. So interesting take. He said, because I asked him, I said, listen, I said, with Fields and, AG, kind of talking about imposing their will on the offense, this and that. I said, how much value do you really see in a second wide receiver? He had an interesting point. He said, listen, look at what they did in free agency, right? It's not great. Let's call it what it is. But you brought in Tyler Johnson, who's a big receiver. You still got Alan Lazard, who's a big receiver. You brought in what's his face from who was in Jacksonville last year, Reynolds, a big receiver. What are they missing? Is you only have Xavier Gibson and Malachi Corley, who you don't know what you have in Malachi Corley in the slot. He says, if there's a receiver, I'm taking a slot guy.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here we are. We have I'm putting Nick Eamon-Worry up there. Safety.
What are we doing? Is it no trade?
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's no trade. Sorry.
Okay.
Nick Eamon-Worry. So we're going to decline these.
Yep, decline.
Safety, Josh Simmons, unless you think I should go a different route with the tackle. I'm going to put Egbuka up there for wide receiver.
Yeah.
And we did get Pitts. So what else are we looking at here?
I mean, I'd probably take one of the 2 tackles on the board. Because I happen to really like Josh Connerly. I think he's my tackle 1 in the class. Josh Simmons coming back from the injury.
Yeah, the injury scares me. So you want to put Connerly up there? What's his name? Josh
Connerly. Either one. I don't care. I still think people. Walter Nolan. If people are really high on Mason Graham and think that he'd be a good fit next to Quinnen Williams, you got to kind of have that same modality and mentality about Walter Nolan. He's my 13th player in the class. I think he's really good. He runs hot and cold, and there's been questions if he is a really committed to football.
No, I don't like that at all.
Bounce around a bunch of schools.
We'll put up Connerly. It's not a name everybody knows. Don't let that sour you. Think about the top offensive tackle on the board. Simmons coming off of injury. So I need let me get one more player here. I got a wide receiver. I got a tackle. I got a safety. Let's maybe.
What about Jihad Campbell?
Okay, we can put Jihad Campbell up there.
Oh, somebody asked for Kenneth Grant. Let's see if he's still available.
Kenneth Grant. I see Ty Williams up there.
Kenneth Grant is available.
We could do that. Yeah, I love Kenneth Grant.
Yeah. This is the range where he'll go probably.
All right, guys, here it comes. The poll is up. This is our first player poll. This is our first pick. So let's get it going, everybody.
This is a tough one for me. These four. This is a tough position here.
I agree. I gotta say. So I really like Kenneth Grant, like a lot. But I wouldn't take him here. So between the other three, I feel the same way. This is a difficult one. I do know which way I would go.
I do as well. I know which way I would go.
Yeah, but if let's say the poll decides Kenneth Grant, I'm not going to be unhappy with it.
No, I don't think you'd be unhappy with any of these guys, to be honest with you. I think some people, again, not to sway the vote, I think some people might be unhappy because they might not value the safety. But, Imanwari would be a great fit next to Andre Cisco.
I would love it.
You have two versatile guys who can play up in the box. They can play the high post. They can play deep center field. They're athletic. Both of them, are aggressive in their run fits. They're sometimes over aggressive. I think that I think we're going to see that a lot with Andre Cisco. He's going to have some real wow moments, but he's going to have some moments where you're like, Jesus Christ, like overshooting his mark and missing tackles. But the pairing right there would be phenomenal.
Yeah. So how much time? We got 53 votes. It's like the same 53 people. Oh, there's another one. 54 votes, 55. We got 1:20 left, guys. Let's have some fun. Get your votes in here.
Who did we take last week, GreenBean?
Last week, I believe we had Matthew Golden.
Was it Golden?
I think that was what it ended up
being. Didn't we trade all the way down to the end of the first round last week?
Well, last week we traded Sauce, so we had picks 7 and 11. We traded back with 7 all the way to 32.
Yeah.
And then we took, I believe it was Matthew Golden at 11. And who did we get at 32? I can pull it up. Let's see here.
I know I emailed it to you.
Yeah. And Ryan didn't. There he good. He just sent me this one. It's funny. It's like doesn't always come. But let's see. Where was it? You sent it to GreenBean. All right. C. There it is. 10 o'clock mock Tuesday. That's March 25th. Is that?
I've been sending them on the same email string. So
wait, let me see here. 10 o'clock, March 20th. Oh, yeah, that's why. Right. So last week, that's March 17th. Jeez.
Hang on.
Hold on. February. It's a whole different. Oh, here we go. Hold on. I'm going to end the poll in a second. Here we go. This is March 31st.
That would be it.
That was it. So Matthew Golden is our first pick at pick 11. All right. Let me end this poll here. It is Emeka Egbuka by a landslide. 46% of the vote, Dom C.
Yeah, listen, phenomenal talent. I know that some people would either love a wide receiver or hate a wide receiver here. And there you go, Randy.
There's one. Randy doesn't like it.
But he does fit that slot role. Oh, man, Walter Nolan went to the Niners.
Well, I'll tell you, Randy, I hope you voted, buddy, because that's the key.
And there's Josh Simmons off the board. There's Donovan Ezeraku off the board. Tyleik Williams off the board. And we're up.
There goes Ty Williams. All right. And we didn't gain any picks in this draft other than that 7th. As far as our trades and all, we didn't gain any. We just got the next year's first and Kyle.
No, we got 54 in the Green Bay trade.
Oh, we
and
did.
230 and 237. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more picks.
All right, so we got picks 42 and 54 here, guys.
You know, we do.
All right, so what are we looking at, Dom?
So we got ourselves a wide receiver, right?
And we got Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. So the tackle and anything on the defense is really up for grabs, man. And I mean, listen, Jackson Dart's still here on the board with the extra pick in the second. Do you want to entertain
I'll
a quarterback?
throw him up there. I got Josh Connerly too. The offense.
Josh Connolly's up there. Trey Amos, man, he's so good.
How do you spell Jackson Dart again? Is it XS?
It is XS. We don't need this. We don't need a receiver here.
Who were you just talking about?
I said Trey Amos. I mean, he's an outside cornerback. He's a press man guy, but it's not the biggest need.
Right.
You know, I might look here more on the defensive side, the tackles and the edge rushers, and with Connerly and the quarterback. That's what I would look.
Yeah.
So here's your edge rushers. You got James Pierce, who's a top 10 player for me in the class. Landon Jackson's a completely different type of player. JT Tuimalau, underrated.
Who fits what we're going to be trying to do here, in your opinion?
I mean, I think Landon Jackson, JT Tuimalau, those guys are run for. JT Tuimalau definitely is more so a run first, stopping type of guy. He's a little bit not as nuanced as a pass rusher. Can still get at the pass rusher. Think George Karlaftis. That's the type of player JT Tuimalau is. Not going to be your bendy, Will McDonald, like Gumby type pass rusher, but going to get to the pass rusher because he plays with his ass on fire.
All right, but for our poll here, you think Pierce though? Maybe I think.
Yeah, I mean Pierce is the best pure pass rusher in the class, bar none. I'll stand on 10 toes and say that.
All right, and let's look at the tight ends. Well, I got Connerly up there for tackle.
Well, remember that we got
Pitts. Let's take a look and see, because we got Stone Smart, we got Jeremy Ruckert, and we got Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. So you got Fannin, Arroyo, I mean Gadsden, Bringenstool, Helm. They're all receiving first. There's no real inline blockers here, and Pitts is a big slot too. So to me, this isn't the group that you're going to go try to add to Kyle Pitts and Stone Smart.
So Fannin, all right, Harold Fannin. All right. Now, remember, guys, I'm not trying to sway you, but just it's important to remember we did get Kyle Pitts in the trade, but we got 2 seconds, so let's see what we're going to do. The poll is up, and the timer has begun. Dom, I'm going to be right back.
Okay.
I got to take a bio break. I should have did it, but I didn't. So I'll be right back. I apologize.
Okay.
Keep talking to the friend.
Yeah,
I'll be back before the poll
let's
ends.
keep talking. So Chris here says if Tyreek Williams is available, he's not. Tyreek Williams went off earlier. I saw his name. Click off somewhere. Maybe I'm wrong. Is he here? No, he's not here. But yeah, he'd be an interesting one. I mean, I think he complements Quinnen Williams very well. John, why draft Pierce when you have McDonald? Fair point. However, I think Pierce is one of those guys at this range where, you know, if you want to talk about best player available, and Pierce had almost a 35% win rate in his pass rush. He knows how to get at the quarterback. He comes into the league probably better than what Will McDonald is, and they are different. They're both are smaller, undersized edge, but Pierce does it more as a true outside linebacker. He can drop off in coverage if you need to. But you're right in the sense that, you know, both of those guys are undersized, pass rush first edges, not really, known to get out there and stack and shed and set edges and stuff like that. Both of them are more of your penetrating, taking advantage with their athletic prowess kind of run defenders. But like I said, to me, I think at some point the value of the player has to be taken into consideration. I know GreenBean put Harold Fannin on here as well. You know, Harold Fannin might be a little too much of what Kyle Pitts is, in my opinion. I like the player, but that's to me, it's a little bit monotonous in their skill sets. You still don't have anybody that can get in there and be your true Y inline tight end outside of Ruckert, if that's the way that you go.
All right. How much time we got on this poll over
I don't
here?
know, but we only got 50-something votes here, guys. You guys are slacking tonight.
Yeah, it's really light tonight.
Yeah.
26 seconds to get your votes in. All right, yeah, they're coming in so slow. We'll end the poll. It says landslide. Connerly is the pick, Mr. C.
Yes, and he's a good one at that. I don't think that he would be here at this spot, but for this make-believe situation, he is. And he's the pick. Oh, there goes Schlesinger, your guy.
Oh, there he goes.
And JT Tumalow's off the board.
So now we got that second-round pick, everybody.
And here it is.
Yep, from the Packers trade. So let's see what we got. This is pick 54.
We're at pick 54.
All right.
Jackson Dart is still on the board. Now, remember, guys, we've taken now, we've got our slot receiver. It won't let me choose over here on the, my picks. We got our slot receiver and we got our tackle.
All right. We're cooking. All right. So who are we looking at here?
I would put Jackson Dart back on the board.
Well, what did he get in that one? He got a 3%. I don't think we want him.
They don't want him. So fuck him.
Yep, right where he eats his eggs.
That's right. You got to put Darius Alexander here, man. He is the do-it-all defensive lineman, another one of my favorite players in this entire draft class. Doesn't matter where you line him up, he just knows how to play football and does it at an exceptional level. Put him at 3 tech, put him on the outside at 4I. You can play him next to Quinnen Williams as a 1 tech at 315 pounds. He's got enough power in those hands that he can hold up against the run. He's a dominant interior pass rusher. I love Darius Alexander.
Okay, he's on the board. So what else? Let's look at the safeties.
Sure. You got Makuba and you got Winston. You can take either one of those guys.
Let's throw Makuba up there.
Yeah, we've gone Winston before, so.
All right. And then let's see. We got
we can throw a 3-bagger. That's fine.
Yeah, but I only got a 2.
You got Makuba?
I got Makuba and Darius Alexander.
Oh, I thought you put Pierce back on there.
No, he's still there.
Or if you want to change if you want to change the edge because he didn't get a lot of love, you can do that too. Princely Umamielen is more of a well-rounded
Pierce
guy.
did all right. He was number 2.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they we'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see what you guys think. We're doing a 3-banger. Here it comes. Randy Hamilton votes every time, everybody. Be like Randy. He's got his opinions. He's resolved. So he votes. That's right. The way. Yeah. I like it. Sodak checking in, Dom C. He says, Dom, can you give me the Spark notes on Restrepo?
Phenomenal player, built like a tank, 5'10", 200 pounds. Understands how to play the position. He's a slot-only guy. Great contact balance. Can separate. Good hands. Everyone's going to look at his testing score and forget Xavier Restrepo because he ran almost 4.8. It wasn't even like 4.6 GreenBean. He was 4.79 and 4.81.
He had a tough day.
Could be a hammy or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, listen, the guy's just a really, really good all-around athlete. He is very crisp and nuanced in his route running. Does most of his damage, obviously from the slot, but does most of his damage horizontally more so than vertically. So he can run those quick little in and out routes, those little zigs, if you like. He's the guy that, on those play actions, he's going to be the slot cross across the field. The quick little sticks and hitches that net you soft spots in the zone. That's what Xavier Restrepo is going to bring. He's not going to be a slot that's going to beat a lot of safeties on slot fades. But you put the ball in his hands, low center of gravity, he'll run you over.
There you go. There's your notes.
That's right.
So how much time we got? We got 40-something seconds left, but this one's looking like an absolute landslide. It is. I'm going to go ahead and end it early.
Who are we taking?
We're going to take Darius Alexander after your fucking 5-minute sales pitch on the guy.
I love it. I speak the truth.
Yeah. All right. Good. So now we're going down to the third round, everybody.
Yes, sir.
I got to tell you, see, like all of our work in free agency on the defensive, on the interior, specifically defensive line, I got to tell you, especially first 2 rounds, even with the extra second, I struggle to do it. There's other needs. So it's look, I love Ty Williams. I love Kenneth Grant. but it's like, I can't do it. Unless there was nobody around, but there's a lot of guys around. So I just struggle with the whole mindset there. We have a very crowded defensive line for Darian Mathis, LT3, Noddy, all these guys that we brought in, obviously Quinnen Williams. So it just seems like an opportunity to do a little something else. But all right, what pick is this now? 73.
We're at 73. Yes, sir. Third round. And the world is our oyster. We can, we filled some needs here, GreenBean. We got a slot receiver, we got a tackle, and we got a defensive lineman. So I think we could talk safety, we could talk edge, we could talk interior offensive line.
Yep.
Or we can just take
Wheeler's tight end now. I mean, let's see what's going on. I liked what you were saying before about the redundancy of Fannin with Pitts. We got to remember Pitts is now on the squad. He's he's getting on a private jet right now.
Yeah. I still, you could probably sell me on Terrence Ferguson here just because he's an insane athlete and he can do a little bit more in line than all these other guys. So you could probably sell me on Ferguson, but for me, again, I'm not trying to sway anything. I'd probably wait and I'd circle, 4th, 5th round and take this group right here. The Mitchell Evans, the Luke Lackeys, the Jalen Conyers, the Jackson Hawes. Those are your true.
All right. Well, then let's push tight end for a moment and let's get into the safety room. Let's look at the linebackers and
safety. You got Kevin Winston and Billy Bowman. Those are the 2 guys I would target right here.
We're going to go with Kevin Winston
for strong safety. Yeah.
Yep. So
best tackler in the class.
Nice. So let's look at the linebackers, Dom C.
Yeah. Barrett Carter, not my favorite prospect. I
like Chris Paul, Demetrius Knight. He's sliding, huh? Look at Demetrius.
Well, they just have him ranked differently than PFF. PFF has him as the top 30 player.
Yeah, but they did too. A couple, I don't know, a few weeks back, Demetrius Knight was in that. I guess it's only the 3rd round.
And he is an older prospect, GreenBean. He played 6 full years in college, so he's gonna be he's 24 now. He will be 25 in the season. So this is probably more likely his landing spot. Round 3, round 4.
I was feeling like we were in the 4th for some reason. Probably that extra second did it to me.
Correct.
All right. So let's take a look at let's take a look at the interior offensive line and see what we got going on.
Yes, sir. Here are the guards. Dylan Fairchild. This is a little bit high for me for him. Miles Frazier.
Yeah, we're not going to do Miles Frazier tonight.
Okay.
That's what I think. Right. We love him. He's good. We've picked him the last, I think, 4 weeks.
Yes.
Take a look.
And I of these guards, I don't know if the value.
I'm not loving it.
Yeah, a lot of interior linemen went. Jared Wilson's a phenomenal talent, but do we need another pure center?
And look, he was picking up what we were all on the same page, Mr. Aiken.
Yeah.
So here we go. But I think I'm feeling what Dom's feeling right now. It doesn't feel right. Let's take who's their wide receivers. I know what we're talking about.
I think there's good edge rushers that we can add on here.
Yeah, we got spots.
Yeah, Princely Umamielen is the guy that you got to consider in round 3 here. Ashton Gelati, again, a very good run defender. It's a little bit shorter, not shorter, but a little bit shorter arms. Gelati, let's see what his height is. Where is he? 6'3", 275. He's got some pedigree. Started almost 40 games in college. He's got a really, really good blend of speed and power. He doesn't have that one thing that really stands out, which is why this is like the landing spot, round 3, round 4. He's like a solid B student, right? He can get at the quarterback, but he's not phenomenal at it. He can stop the run. He's strong. He's solid. Plays with power, but he sometimes gets lazy and doesn't play with really, really high-end gap integrity. So what do you think about Princely here? I steal here. Princely Umamielen is probably a top 50 player. He's a top 50 player for me in the class. At 73, I think it's a steal.
All right, and let's look at the wide receivers. We're going to be, I think might be a draft where we sniff around the wide receivers door.
Yeah, and there's still some good ones here.
Yeah, really
Jack
good.
Besh, Alec Ayomanor, Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams can give you that inside.
Let's throw Kyle Williams up there. But
all
right. Okay.
And Ayomanor is more of your outside boundary guy. So you could have a starting lineup with Ayomanor, Garrett Wilson, and Emeka Buka, and that's pretty dangerous right there. Besh, I think, is going to be.
I'm going to go with Williams. Are you in opposition?
I'm fine with that. I mean, you're talking about speed and separation. Yeah. That's Kyle Williams, and the Jets had him in for a 30 visit today.
That's right. I heard about that today.
Yep. I just want to see what's on the tackle class here. So this is an interesting one, GreenBean. All right, because we talked about interior. They got Marcus Bowe here listed as a tackle. He's not. He's an interior offensive lineman in the next level. So if you want to go interior offensive line, Bowe is the way to go.
Right. So looking at the tackles for your interior offensive line help.
Yeah.
An interesting little wrinkle.
Marcus Bowe is going to play. He might play center, but he's definitely at worst, he's going to be one of those two guards. He's not going to play tackle the next level. The same might be said with Anthony Belton, although I think he can be a phenomenal right tackle. He just moves people very well, but he's a little bit slow of foot, so I don't know if he would really fit in a wide zone scheme. He's much more of a gap power duo kind of interior lineman, where on the flip side, Bowe is really, really good.
All right. Interesting. That might be a route that we want to go. Why do you think Logan Brown is he's kind of like in that 5th, 6th. I thought maybe late 3rd, 4th.
That's where he's going to go. He's going to go in late 3, early 4. I think that's a perfect spot for him.
All right. Let's see what we got. We only got 37 votes. Hey man, we're going to stop pounding you on it, but I hope you guys jump in.
Yeah, or it'll be a quick night, which is fine too.
Some people just want to watch. I guess that's fine too. Do it how you want to do it, right, Dom?
That's it.
Let's see what we got. This is a tight one, actually. Kevin Winston is pulling away. But I thought, Kyle Williams and Edge. I thought Kyle Williams was going to run away with this one. I really did.
Did you really?
I did. Not that that's why I put him up, but once I was like, he's probably going to steal it, but interesting. Yeah, I guess because we got a Buka just a minute ago. So there you go. It looks
like Kevin Winston's going to win this one, so I can speak openly about this. And I love Winston. He's a top 30 player for me. I actually voted for Umamielen because I think that the edge room is in need of some warm bodies.
Yeah, really, you look at what we got. We didn't do much. We got what's his name from the Titans. I forget his name.
Yeah, he went to Pitt. I forget his name all the time too.
But so we got him. But really, we're looking at JJ and Will McDonald. That's not it's not a terrible way to start. But like we saw last year, if Jermaine Johnson goes down, we're thin quick. All right, this is Kevin Winston, Dom.
Yep. Kevin
I
Winston.
want to welcome Danger Zone to the Stream Beaners. All right, welcome aboard, buddy. Thank you for the support, my friend. The newest member,
And
the
there goes
Danger
Marcus
Zone.
Bowe. He just went 81.
There he goes.
Son of a
There
bitch.
goes Ferguson.
There goes Cam Scattaboo.
Scattaboo. All right.
Kyle Williams off the board.
Kyle
And here,
Williams.
yeah, this is the part where all the good
That's
guys
right.
go.
This is where all those guys you were happy to see sliding stop.
That's right.
Tyler Show gone. It's going to be interesting with
We're not taking any trades at this point. We're in round four. We're in round 4. Yeah. So round 4, guys. Quick recap: Igbuka, Josh Connerly, Darius Alexander, Kevin Winston. We're hitting needs. This is a very let's fill the spots that are open on the roster kind of mock draft here.
Right. So Beefy's saying that Jermaine and McDonald suck at setting the edge. I don't agree with Jermaine Johnson.
No.
He's actually a very good edge setter.
I think he's a better edge setter than he is pass rusher, personally.
Yeah, he's all around, man. He's excellent. I hope he bounces back. I mean, look, he's young and he's the type of guy to do it. Like he's known for his work ethic and doing things the long way, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Not the long, which the right way. Attention to detail. So I think he's got as good of a chance as anybody to come back. But even with that, it might take some time. So I'm with Dom. I think the edge is sneaky need.
Yeah.
But all right, who was? So I got nobody right now. Let's look at the wide receivers. Or where are you? Are you in the edge? I mean, we'll do that tackle to guard.
Yeah.
trick.
So I think we should put Anthony Belton on here, and consider him your swing tackle, swing guard, because he can play both. He legitimately can play both. So I think that's the guy you put on here. You have your guy Savion Williams if you want to get a bigger bodied receiver.
Yeah.
Or not.
Let's see who. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. See, look, I like him, but I don't know if he's the guy I'd grab. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know how that is? Like, you like a player, but you're like, it's not the risk that I want.
Well, listen, he's not my favorite. So I offered him because I know you like him.
Yeah. Dante Thornton.
Dante Thornton's going to take the top off the defense, right? He's a different type of receiver. You want to put him up there? Put him up there.
I do. Yeah, and he's big and strong and fast, and he's a deep threat, man.
Yeah.
Why is my computer? What's going on, everybody? All right.
So you got Thornton up there, right? Let's look at the defense here. You still got some good players here, man. You still got some really good players.
Talk to me about the edge. What are you looking at here? I like CJ West. Farmer's there. But we did defensive tackle.
Correct. So
we can't double dip, of course. But again, defensive tackle. That's where we did the most work in the offseason is defensive tackle.
Yeah, we brought in the most bodies, but is there anyone there that's going to preclude you from taking or taking talent? No. Not Derek Nottie, not the other guy that they brought in. I don't even know. I forget what his name is.
Yeah, that one guy. But there's a third. And then again,
Darius Mathis, we do have to forget.
We have Mathis and LT3 that are there. You know what I mean? Like, it's these guys. I mean, again, would they stop me from they're not going to redirect my draft plan. But when all things are equal and I don't have wide receivers and I don't have safeties and I don't have, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know this year. But anyway, just making the point.
So when you're talking about edge rushers here, David Walker's interesting. He's maybe 6 feet tall. He's a small school kid, but he can get at the quarterback, right? Then you look on the opposite side here. This is a guy that I absolutely love.
Yeah.
Savion Jones. He's your bigger guy. He's 280. He's everything that you hoped Michael Clemens would be, except better, right? Mm-hmm. He can get at the quarterback. He's not a pass rush specialist. He doesn't have a huge pass rush bag, but he gets at the quarterback with power and with persistence. And he's a plus run defender, something that would complement very well if you want to use him on early downs, Will McDonald on later downs, if that's the avenue you want to go. So
Yeah,
Of
'cause we
these
got to cut Clemens for that 3 point whatever $1 million, man.
3.6 million. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
come
and
on
then
now.
you also got Jack Sawyer here on the board. Probably took a little bit of a dip. He's gonna, real life he'll probably maybe he'll go in the third round. This might be the area where it goes. So if you wanted to put Sawyer, you can. I don't know if Sawyer has anything like athletically. He's not the most gifted guy. Definitely needs to get a little stronger. Definitely not going to be a 3-down player, a rotational piece, but maybe that's all you want. So whichever way you want to go in the edge, Green Bean, you want to go with a more of a.
Well, I think Savion Jones sounds like a good, that sounds. I'm liking that.
Yeah, we can look back in the safety room as well if you want to.
I
want to add more,
we didn't grab a safety yet, did we?
We got Winston.
We did.
Yes.
Let's look at these tight ends.
Yeah, let's look at them. You got Gadsden and Bringenstool, who are not guys that you're probably going to bring in with the crew plus Pitts that you have. Mitchell Evans, he's a Y. He's a big body in there. Jalen Conyers, Jackson Halls. We all know that those guys are block first, receive second. Tommy Fedone from Nebraska, same thing. But those are, that's probably a little bit later, not here at round 4, pick 110. You got the running back room. Damian Martinez, Green Bean, might be the closest thing to David Montgomery, which might interest one Aaron Glenn, right?
Might, yeah.
And then you got other guys here who are really.
Well, who was that again? I'm sorry, I'm like
Damian Martinez.
Damian Martinez.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I'll see what they say about him here. Boom. See, I like this about Pia. I mean, these are their notes, but 5'11", 217. Emerged as a consistent 100,000-yard runner at Oregon State his first 2 seasons. Joined Miami. Cam Ward. Averaged 6.3 carries. One of the most complete volume running backs in the entire NFL class. 6 foot, 217.
All right.
Explosive, uber physical. I'd throw him up there. We haven't talked running back in a while.
He's long up there. Dave, the poll is up. The timer's started. I like it. And
this is an interesting crew we got.
Well, and I'm not loving this Breece Hall trade rumor stuff. Look, again, I'm well aware, and I don't get too crazy one way or the other during smokescreen season, but I still don't like it, and Breece has been out there responding in some ways about it and shit. I hope, I hate to taint anything positive. Breece, I'm really hoping to see Breece Hall as somewhat of a focal point, 20, 22 touches a game. We haven't seen it yet. And we can already agree that the offensive staff here during his tenure has been inept, right? So I really want to see this damn kid. I want it. We see the flashes constantly when he gets in any space or he's running around the edge. He can take any play to the house. I want to see it. So I would hate to see us get rid of him for a 3rd round pick and never get to see that. You know what I mean? So, but that said, life is life, so who knows what they're thinking, but looking at running backs for our purposes, I think is a good idea, especially right around here.
There's a ton of them that are good here too. I mean, listen, Dylan Sampson's not going to be on the board round 4, more than likely. He's legit 4.29, 4.30 speed. Just that alone, I think somebody's going to roll the dice on him. RJ Harvey, another guy underrated, smaller school at UCF. I think Devin Neal's a good player. Ollie Gordon.
Nice. The timer is up. It is the edge rusher by a landslide, pretty much.
Okay, Savion Jones.
Savion Jones, and I'll bring up our buddy Sam Aiken checking in. Embo is very versatile and intelligent. Why not draft him for value here? Isn't Kyle Williams a late 2nd? What do you think?
I think Kyle Williams will go anywhere from I think his ceiling will probably start at pick 50, and he can go anywhere to probably about 75 to 90. That, and probably Mbo. It's not Mbo. It's actually Bo. The M is silent, but Bo is probably the same thing. There's some people who think Bo can go a lot earlier. I got a friend in the draft world who absolutely loves him, and he constantly is that offensive lineman that he has people trading back in round 1 for. That might be a little rich, but
yeah. So yeah, man. I mean, who knows? And you look at these years. We talk about before the draft. We know that this guy's never going to be here, or this guy's, not getting taken that early. Every single year there are surprises. We got 32 teams with complete staffs of scouts and all the stuff, and they make decisions based on their own research, man. And some are good and some are not. And you see all kinds of crazy decisions. I want to bring this up too. Joe, I think you might be new around here. It's not clickbait. It's a mock draft with themes, and we explore it for specific reasons, my friends. All caps. Look how mad Joe is, Dom. He's so upset. Nobody's giving up. Like, why? Just fucking relax. We're exploring it. That's what we do here at the 10 o'clock mock. We're like 5 years, I think, into this thing. And and please stop. Like, you fucking please stop. Go home. Go watch, Modern Family with your friends.
It's a great show.
It's fucking awesome. I just love seeing Al Bundy resurgence. You know what I mean?
I love
Remember Al Bundy when we were younger?
Absolutely.
It's nice to see Ed O'Neill get back out there,
Al Bundy scored 4 touchdowns and ran for 200 yards at Polk High.
In one game.
In
one game, damn it. Who else is doing that? Like, nobody.
Hey, I want to pull, before we get into the pick, I want to put this up here.
Yeah.
Because me and Rusty knows his stuff. Shout out Rusty Spooner.
Right.
We always seem to be on different sides of things, which is fine. His eyes see something that I don't like. My eyes see something that he don't like. But I will say, I love this Henderson take. I absolutely love it. Although he's not my number one. Let's read it.
Henderson will wind up being the number 1 running back of the draft, and Scatterboo will be second best. Yeah. These are guarantees. Been seeing them for years, by the way. So you disagree with that? You think there's
no. I think Henderson's a phenomenal talent. He's my second running back in the class. He's not ahead of Genty. But I fully would not be surprised whatsoever if he's the second running back taken off the board. I think he's pretty
now,
good.
where do you think that is? Like, because Genty's going to end up going in the first, right? You think
Genty's
there's another
go first? Yeah.
You think there's another first round running back? Is that
there could be 3.
Wow,
there could be
That'd
3.
Be fun.
Yeah, but I would take Henderson and similar skill set wise to Breece Hall, where you get him in space, he can take anything to the house. And he's a fucking dog in pass blocking, which is something that I always kind of seem to lean for. Now, Scatterboo, I'm not so crazy about. I know people love him, but he's not my favorite. Anyhow, I digress. Yeah. Where are we?
Well, look, that's what we got to do. Braden's got a good idea. He's like, screw these sims. They got to make the Dom C sim already. That's what we got to get to. That's our project for this year. We're going to put everything on hold. We got to get that going. I'm with Braden. I really am.
Yeah.
All right.
So where we're at. Here we at. We got an edge, we got a defensive tackle, we got a safety, we got a tackle, and we got a wide receiver. So we could use some interior, right? This might be a good landing spot for one of these guys here. We could have Miles Frazier, I'm not going to push him this week. We want to shy away. Luke Handler's a great alternative as well. He's really good. Clay Webb is interesting. Smaller school kid. He was a center, but I think he can hang a guard. He's a little bit undersized. Think of oh my God, why can't I think of his name? I'm so bad. I'm so burnt. The names just seem
all smearing together and shit.
Yeah, who was the center? Garrett Bradbury for Minnesota for years. I see a lot of Garrett Bradbury in Clay Webb's game. You know, he's not gonna be the guy that's gonna anchor down.
Yeah, he's not right. He's not moving the pile, but
but you put him out in space, and he's gonna do damage.
Technically sound.
Yeah, tight ends. You want to talk Evans?
Well, who we got here? Who we going with?
I'm just spitting out names here.
Well,
man.
yeah, but let's make a decision.
I would go Kandra over Clay Webb for
All
sure.
Right. Let's go with Luke Kandra.
Yep.
For our IOL.
You want to talk Luke Lackey? You want to talk Mitch Evans here? I'm fine with that.
That's a Rusty Spooner pick right there for us. We got a tight end. And all right. Did we ever? Oh, all right. We got a safety. We've got a defensive tackle.
We got no linebackers.
We got no linebackers. We have Bassa still hanging around. Kaiser's still there.
They got Bassa pretty low. That's
they do.
Yeah. I mean, I would go. I have Bassa rated much higher than this. He's a top 100 player for me.
All right, let's throw him up there. We need some linebackers, man. I mean, look, wouldn't it be great if we turned around right after the nice development of Jamie and Sherwood, we turn around and Zaire Barnes is a stud muffin? Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Sure,
but I don't think we can bank on that. You know what I mean? So
we need one more guy.
Yeah,
throw in RJ Harvey.
Well, no, I can do a 3-banger here.
Okay.
You want to do let's just do this. 3-banger action. And then we'll look at our running backs for the next one.
Yeah.
The poll is up, everybody. The timer is begun and we are off. So let's see what comments we got. Donker Salute. Stutzman still now. It looks like Stutzman is gone.
I think he just went. I know that I saw him. There's Teddy Buchanan.
There he is, right there. You just passed.
Yeah,
him.
there he is. San Francisco. Man, San Francisco's having themselves a draft. Look at this. Tyler Booker, Walter Nolan, Chris Paul, Arroyo. Dorian Strong is probably the weakest of all these 5 guys here. That's a great draft right there.
Yeah, I'll tell you. But I got to say, it's a funny thing when we look at these drafts and these guys that we love, you know, when you start getting really into it and, you know, once you start knowing the guys from the 4th, 5th, 6th round, like that tier, you start to see these other teams' drafts and you're like, holy shit, like they knocked it out of the park. And the crazy thing is, man, is a lot of these guys never make it. You know, it's really something. You look at him and you think this guy's a fucking stud for whatever the reason. Not everybody makes it, man. It is difficult to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, think about it. I mean, most of these guys were in the top. I'd say a fair share of these guys were that go into the draft, right? What are there, 240 guys? So you're talking about the top 5? Maybe not even, maybe top 2% of all college football gets drafted.
Right.
And then they go right from big fish in a little pond to the opposite.
That's right. That's why, like, when you're talking about these small school guys and that's where you really do got to look at athleticism and things like that. Because number one, if they're a big fish in a small pond like that and they're not dominating, that's already something to pay attention to. But if they are, that belief that, okay, well, this means that they're going to be able to match up well with the SEC guys. It's like, it's not always the case, man. Like, you got to really be careful with those. That's when you start looking at like mental makeup, really background and all that kind of shit. Mm-hmm. Let's see what we got here, Dom. It looks like Jeffrey Bassa is going to run away with this one with 55% of the vote.
It's a good player, man.
I like it.
Good player. And we're getting into the nitty-gritty here, right? What do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 left. 62, 86, 207, and then the old little sprinkle on the top.
Sprinkle on top. So what pick are we at? 162 is ours?
Yes, sir.
162. All right, let's look at those running backs.
Still a bunch of good ones here, right? Devin Neal, Kyle Monungai, Jordan James, if you want that. Jadon Blue, Taj Brooks, LaQuint Allen, who is a Dom C favorite. If you want a guy that can affect the game, not only as a runner, but more so as a passer. Think, GreenBean, when we were young in the late 80s and early 90s, buddy, when you had a true what it meant to be a third down back. That guy was a receiving threat. That's LaQuint Allen, man. That's LaQuint Allen. Yeah.
So what's his build? What's he looking like?
6 foot 204.
Okay, little
and
tall.
PFN tells you LaQuint Allen is a very good pass catching back with natural feel for route running, reliable hands. Averaged 40 receiving yards per game last year. Average rushing off contact. Doesn't run with great pad level because he's a little tall.
Yeah, little tall, right?
Some stiffness in his hips. Only 28.5% of Allen's career runs have gone over 15 yards. So this was not written by a family member of LaQuint Allen. They did not do him much justice here. He will only be 20 at the time of the draft.
Well, so I think we can all agree if the Jets are bringing in a running back from this draft, he really should be a skiddly ding dang, right? Mm-hmm. He should be somebody that's fucking quick, somebody that just can slip through those tight gaps. We want a change of pace back. That's what we'd be looking for.
And then you're talking
5'10", 190.
Then you're talking about, if that's what you're looking for, obviously, other than LaQuint, who is a change of pace, taller back, Jadon Blue, Jarquez Hunter, Jordan James, I think all fit that bill.
Give me one.
I don't care.
Nope, I want you to pick one.
Jadon Blue.
Jadon, all right. Jadon Blue, everybody. A change of pace running back to skiddly ding it between Isaiah Davis, Braylon Allen, and Breece Hall. I like it. Everybody's got to be able to catch the ball too. That's important for Justin Fields. All right, what else are we looking at here, Dom? What did we do with our last pick? We ended up getting the we got a linebacker. So
so we got to go back to the interior.
Correct.
Right?
Yep, I agree.
I'm looking at the tackles that could be guards here. These guys are mostly tackles, I think. Jalen Rivers is a guard. I don't know why they have him.
All right, let's look at the guards. See what we got on the interior list before we make our decision.
You got Clay Webb. I got to be honest with you. I didn't watch any Clemson offensive line, so I got nothing on Marcus Tate. I don't think I scouted him at all. I'm looking at my interior list right here. He is not. I have 30 guards scouted, scouting reports written up on 30 guards, and he's not one of them. So I got nothing on him.
All right. You like Clay Webb?
I do. I think this might be a little early for him, if I'm being completely honest.
All right. Who else we got there?
We got some centers here, but do we really need another center?
No, we got too many.
Yeah. I'd probably, if you want a guy who's listed as a tackle, who's not a tackle, it's probably Jalen Rivers. He's going to be a guard. You got your tight ends. You still have Mitchell Evans, Lackey, Conyers, Hawes.
Let's throw.
We can look at the receivers. We can look at the receivers.
Hawes might be interesting, right?
Nick Nash is here. Your boy, Ricky White's here.
Let's do some Nick. Oh, let's do Ricky White. Yeah. All right. So was it Jackson Hawes, right? Is it? How's he spell that one?
Jackson.
All right. Tight end that's bringing the thunder
from down under.
That's right. So the poll is up, everybody. And we're going to start the timer. We're in the 2-minute realm, so get your votes in. Rusty's saying San Francisco killed it. Yeah, that one looked good. That was a good-looking draft over there. Let's see. AJ liked Monangai. So did Meadowland Swamp Thing, too.
Kyle Monangai is that's actually Meadowland Swamp Thing. That's a pretty. I don't know if I'd really put him with the same power profiles as Pacheco. Pacheco's like old school, man. Pacheco is pure power back. Monangai's a little. I think Monangai will be a good part of a committee. I don't know if he's got 3 down back in him. He doesn't have that extra gear. But he runs. He's compact. He runs with he has great contact balance. Never really asked to do much out of the backfield. So I think he's more of a late day 3 guy who's going to come in and be kind of like your, early down portion of a committee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pete DeTraglia is saying, hey, Golston was a stud, but sucked at football. Yeah. That guy, hopefully he just took his money and said, all right, well, I get 4 years of being a multimillionaire. I'm going to invest this and do it right because I have no intention of playing. I'm not hurting I just played in college, did well enough to be the 6th overall pick. I got, whatever it was back in the day, $5 million a year, let's call it, for 4 years, and just say, I'm just going to go home, invest my money. We should all be so lucky. Now hopefully he's not stuck selling, cheap fucking Mazdas.
Well, how much money did he get for that contract? Because that was in the days when you could negotiate. It wasn't slotted, right?
Right. It was pre-slot. Exactly. All right. So let's see what we got here, and then I'll look up the Vernon Coles. The Vernon Goals looks like Jackson Hawes.
Wow.
Okay.
Hey, I'm not angry at it.
No,
I'm not angry at it at all.
Let's see what is Vernon Golston's contract. 5-year contract worth $32 million. He didn't reach any performance clauses, though. It would have been $50 million if he actually did something. Crazy.
RB, I'm going to answer this for you. Okay, buddy? Hawes cannot catch a football. If we don't want to draft a tight end who can't block, why draft a tight end who can't catch at all? Because I think there's benefit to having someone with such blocking prowess on the offensive line next to your tackle who ultimately can act like a 6th tackle, especially when you have an offense that's going to want to establish the run with a quarterback who might be better with his legs than with his arms. So Hawes is exactly the same guy. Exactly the type of guy that I think you might be looking for to fill out that roster. And he's going to be, I talked to him down at Senior Bowl, and he said, my job is to take my face mask and put it right through the guy I'm blocking, put it right through his chest. I said, I'll sign you today.
And you guys know how I am with designated, one or the other with the tight ends. I'm either a pass catcher or I'm just a block. I don't love that. But if you're going to do it, you get somebody who says shit like that, that has that mentality. Here's my job. I'm going to crush someone. Like, okay, I like it. Yeah. Pick 186. Are some of these, is Ricky White still around? And
so here's what I'm going to say. At this point, GreenBean, I think we should forget about positional value and just start taking what we think is the best value on the board.
I'm right with you, buddy.
Ricky White's got to be up there. Jack Sawyer's got to be up there. Ty Robinson's got to be up there.
I'm sorry, Jack
Sawyer, edge. Ty Robinson, defensive tackle.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
I got you.
This thing, when you do 2 screens, sometimes you think you're on the right screen and you're writing, and then you look and it's not doing anything. All right, so I got Ricky White, Jack Sawyer.
Ty Robinson.
All right, Ty Robinson. Hold on just a second here.
Go a 3-banger. That's fine. We don't need more than 3.
All right, let me just see this. All right. I'm sorry. Who would you say? Ty Robinson?
Yep. Defensive tackle.
Okay. And we'll do a 3-banger. How about let's add one more, and then so how many picks we got left, Dom?
We got this one and then 2 more.
All right, so the top 2.
You want to add if you want to add a 4th, add Clay Webb in. We haven't gone interior yet.
Clay Webb, interior offensive line. All right, so here's how it's going to go. Get your votes in. The top 2 are our next 2 picks.
Yes.
There you go. I would have liked to see Jadon Blue on there again. But he'll be around and we can throw him up there. But that's how it's going to go. Get those votes in, everybody. Stay strong. Stay strong, Jets fans.
Not many votes yet. Let's get them going.
What do we got? 20. All right. 20 votes so far. Got the edge rusher taking it home. Who's going to come in second? That's the key part of the race, maybe.
Yeah.
All right.
There are next two, and then I know what you're going to do with the last pick, so I'm not.
No, it's all right. Yeah, well, we'll throw it up there. We'll see how it's going. Jets Paulie says Jack Sawyer is the great great-grandson of Tom Sawyer of literary fame. That's right.
Is that true? Is that factual?
Well, considering Tom Sawyer is fictitious or fictional.
There we go. See that? Dumb statement by a dumb man, myself.
I can't believe Ricky White's not getting more love in this one.
Where's the love going? Let's see.
It's going the other way.
Wow. I'm surprised about that too.
All right, guys. While you're here, don't forget to hit that like button. Give me the old milk thumbs, everybody. It's been a light night of engagement. And it's fine. Everybody's tired. It's, we're getting into the final stages of the draft, and then we get it. But, you show some love. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Dom C's channel is right at the top of the description of this very video. In the list of the crew, you got Gunny in there, and Tigo, and Jeremy, and Frankie, and all the guys. But show Dom some love with the Project Prospect with Dom C channel. That is greatly appreciated. That's very important for us. Very, very important.
It is.
So, all right. How much time we got? Let's hope I start at the timer. All right. Well, I didn't, so there's that. So let's put 30 seconds up there. How's that sound? Whoops, 26 minutes. Jesus Christmas. All right. We're just going to wait it out a few seconds, and I'll just hit end at this point. All right. So it looks like I'll give it 10 more seconds. Jeesh. This is a light one. 10 more seconds, guys. Get your votes in. 8, 7, 6, 5, vote. 4, vote. 3, vote. 2, 1. Not one vote since I did that. Okay. So, all right, here we go. The next two picks, Tom.
Well,
if he's there.
Yeah, if he's there is the question.
If he's there.
Who's the first one? Who's the highest?
First one. It's not up there yet. Let me see. But it was definitely, Jack Sawyer, the edge rusher.
Okay.
Andrew Zonka says, I voted without even knowing who the hell we picked. There you go. That's good.
Well, Clay Webb's off the board. Ricky White's off the board.
Oh, they're all gone, so that shit ain't going to work.
That ain't going to work.
You got to have a new freshie. No problem. We can do it. Well, the thing is, Pete, is that this one doesn't rank you in the same way as PFF.
Correct.
PFF with their uppity bullshit. That's a D. Like, screw you. Who are you? We're PFF. Remember when PFF a couple years ago, Quinnen had a game. He had like 3 sacks, a blocked field goal, and like 10 pressures, a fucking forced fumble, and they gave him like a 60.
Yeah, and then all the Jets fans complained.
But then they bumped it up. Yeah. And they only bumped it up to like a 70. And they complained more like, what are you talking about? It's like a perfect game. And they said, all right, it's a 90. It's like, well, where's your credibility?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I remember that.
That was nuts.
I pulled up the safeties here just to look. Dante Trader's interesting. This is the range. He might go undrafted. He might go in the late in this, in 7th round.
Is this our last pick?
No, we got one more.
Okay.
This is our last positional player. Then you're going to pick a freaking
kicker. We did. Your disdain for the kicker is really, I think you should get some therapy.
I'm looking at the wide receivers. Caden Prather's interesting, but he's kind of like a big X that I don't know. This doesn't move very well for me.
These guys are not really right. Let's look at their big board for a second. What are they doing? What are they talking about?
They said Tim Smith, the defensive tackle from Alabama, John Joyner, who's great, Vernon Broughton, who's great, Taj Brooks, the running back. He's got a lot of miles on there.
Who else we like in the running back room?
I love LaQuint.
All right, let's put LaQuint Allen. All right.
Yeah. Carson Vincent's an interesting one, GreenBean. I'll tell you about Carson Vincent real quick. Played at Alabama A&M, so small school, obviously, historical black college and university. 36 3/4 inch arms. Almost 37 inches, his arms.
That's something.
Dominant at the Senior Bowl. But he is as project gets, Is this the time that you get one of those guys and hope that your offensive line can make him into something, your offensive line coach can make him into something 3 years from now? I'd roll the dice on a guy like that. You got Luke Lackey still here.
Yeah, we just got Jackson Hawes and we got Kyle Pitts in this one.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. Yeah. You're right about that. I think, we're pretty tapped out here.
I mean, what do we got?
Caleb Ransaw, I think he's he can do what Isaiah Oliver does. He can play safety and he can play nickel. All right, he shouldn't be down this low. He's gonna be gone early on day 3. So I'd put him right up there.
All right. Who else? Give me another one.
John Joyner.
Yeah, but the edge, we just grabbed Sawyer.
Oh, that's right. We did. You're right.
I could throw him up.
No. That's fine. We'll go to the offensive
line. The wide
line
receivers here are ugly, and let's see what
we'll go to the offensive line. We'll find somebody here. Yeah, you got Willie Lampkin. You like your offensive linemen who are 5'10", 270?
Yeah, that's my kind of guy. What about the safeties? We got Kevin Winston early.
No, well, you just put Ransaw up there, right?
Oh yeah, they're right on.
You got LaQuint Allen. You got no quarterbacks. The wide receivers aren't really doing it for me personally. I think Ja'Cory Brooks is nice. That's probably about it.
Sheesh.
You want another linebacker?
Sure. What do we got?
Kobe King. Kobe King seems to be the Jets fans' favorite linebacker. You know why? Because he falls to him in PFF all the time and say, "Oh yeah, I need a linebacker. I'll take Kobe King."
That's right. So what happens is then you start and you like the name. It's like it rolls off the tongue, and now he's your guy.
Yeah,
that's how that happens. I'd be lying if I said I never did that. I don't do it so much now, but early on, fuck yeah. You know what? Not for nothing, but a lot of my initial research would be like who's fallen to me. And then I dig into those guys.
Yeah.
Some, you're like, ugh, this guy sucks for whatever reason. But some guys I've ended up really digging. Like, I'm grateful for that little happenstance,
Yeah, man.
So that poll is up. The timer is a-going. So we'll see how we end with this one. And look, they're doing it because just like you said, this one's tight, though, between Caleb Ransaw and Kobe King. They're neck and neck right now. I think I'd like a guy like Ransaw. That versatility, if you're going to be able to, at this point in the draft, if you can get a two-position guy, somebody who can move around and do different things for you, that's a benefit. I would imagine that fellas like that, they can also contribute on special teams.
Correct.
Which is very important for this point in the draft. While you're working on their skill set, get them on the field playing specials for you. And thankfully this year, I don't know if you guys knew this, but we have the first new special teams coordinator in 37 years.
Who is he? Who is the special teams? He came from Denver?
Spread. No, I don't know.
He came from Denver, I believe.
Yeah, he was a Westhoff underling last year. So
that's right.
A little protege action.
That's right.
You could do a lot worse than having some Westhoff influence. Yeah, man. That's great. So okay, well, he's pulling away.
That's right. Sodak said it. Chris Banjo. He was a former player himself.
Banjo, that's right. Yeah, you know what I tell myself every time I see it? Oh, I'm never going to forget this one again. That's what I do because it's banjo.
Yeah.
It's an easy one. And then I go, wait, what the hell is his name?
That's all I'm going to hear. I'm going to hear.
That's right. Well, it's Kobe King for this one, Dom.
Shocker.
So we're at our last pick. I think LeQuint is going to be there.
I'd put your kickers up there, man.
Yep.
That's fine. I hope they're all gone.
Where are they? They're all gone.
They are. The only one here is Borgalis.
See? Because everybody's smart. All right, scroll up to the top.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Oh, there's Fitzgerald. He's there.
Let's take Borgalis. Let's see. What's his name?
Andreas Borgalis. Just make it the kicker battle. Put Borgalis versus Fitzgerald.
Want to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see which one of these hacks these guys.
That's right. Who did we really love the most? I love it.
Do you take the guy of Latin descent, or do you take the Wonder Bread kicker?
Yeah, we'll see about it, you bunch of racist bastards in here. We'll see. We'll see. All right, it's up. We'll do our poll, our timer here. Okay.
GreenBean, with your affinity towards kickers, especially in this draft.
It's so funny because I don't have an affinity toward kick. They are vital. Vital.
Do you have, and this is an honest question, do you have a favorite kicker through your time as a Jets fan?
Yeah, of course.
Who? Pat Leahy?
Vedvik.
No,
Pat Leahy, man. He was a Jets kicker. I believe it was 17 years. My entire childhood up until high school, after high school, he was just the kicker. It was a different era. So we had Pat Ryan was my backup quarterback my whole life. It felt like, you know what I mean? And it sucked when these guys finally moved on. Hold on 1 second. Let me just tell my son something. Hold on real quick.
Yeah.
Hold on. But I want to continue this.
Oh, we're going to hear him.
Yeah.
Bean.
He just got off work. He just put in his 2-week notice at Subway.
Hi.
Hey, kiddo. How you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm really, really great. Hey, listen, I closed up the chickens for you, but I need you to fill the water and put it in there. I know it's raining.
Now.
Yeah, because it's dry. It's there's just a little tiny.
Do it tomorrow morning.
But you're not going to wake up, and then they got to fucking wait 4 hours with no water. So just real quick, I did half of the job.
Mommy's gonna wake me up. Mommy's gonna wake me up early.
Can you just do the water? Can you just do the water for me?
That's too late right now.
Nah, man,
I can't.
Goodbye. Fucking kid. Anyway, look, Pat Leahy, he was amazing. He was the most accurate kicker in the league for numerous years. He had records. He was the third at that time. He was the third highest point scorer in NFL history. And then he just literally, Dom, from 1 week to the next, fell off a cliff and lost the game for us in overtime. And it was just very much like we see with Zerline right now. It's sudden. So he's my favorite guy. I did like Feely. I did like Nick Folk when he was here for those years. He was amazing for us for those years. And Zerline was fun for a minute, but Pat Leahy's my guy.
Pat Leahy's your guy.
All right.
Who's your guy in this draft class?
Borgalis beats Fitzgerald, man, in the head-to-head battle of the kickers.
Borgalis, you are a New York Jet.
Look at Sodak, man. He makes a declaration of independence here. He says, can't call yourself a draft analyst without scouting the kickers. Right? I agree.
Fair. That's fair.
It's such a vital position. The idea that we just go, undrafted free agent, I don't know. It doesn't compute to me. Again, if you do it right, you don't have to think about it for fucking 10 years. It just makes so much sense.
Sodak, I spent too much time scouting the long snappers that I just didn't get to.
That's right. That's another one. Those guys, they're once you get one, you know what I mean? And supposedly ours is the best in the league. Crazy. Hasn't materialized into too much. All right, let's take a look what we got here, everybody. Yeah, he's just playing. We know we're all having fun.
I know you're playing.
All right. AJ starts with a great effing draft, A+.
Wow.
Look at that. He loved this one. So don't forget, guys, when you're voting, when you're rating, we got a 2026 first and Kyle Pitts out of this one. So it's not just what you're looking at here. We did quite a bit of damage tonight. Now we'll see if these players actually work out, but don't forget, we got Kyle Pitts to bring into the tight end room, and we got a 2026 first. Did we get anything else from the Green Bay trade or any of that stuff? No, that was just a second this year, right?
Yep, correct.
Okay. All right, so let's see what your what your ratings are. They're even slow with that. Usually by now we have like 50 votes, or I keep calling it a vote. A Rover bet, B+ from Rover. Nick comes in with a B+ with all the extra add-ons. Right on. Gitmo Bob. What's up, Bob? Didn't see you here. Good to see you. B-. Pete Petraglia, overall, a B for me. Let's see. This is probably an A draft. Could be a little higher, even depending on what they do with the 1 in 2026. Right. Like we can only grade it on the value currently. But I think going into next year's draft, we got an experiment. We're committed, but it's an experiment nonetheless with Justin Fields. And if it doesn't work, having 2 firsts in next year's draft you're going to really be happy about it. And then we could take the wrong guy and the whole thing, of course. But as far as what we're able to do, that's important. So Irving Grady says, don't love it, but don't hate it. We were able to address the needs. B. Jets Paulie says, I'm going to say B+. Nice. Zachary Berner coming in with a B. Christopher Byers, hey guys, pretty good, B+. Nice. Matthew Malavey says, even though I didn't want to move to 15, this is one of the best drafts I've seen us do here, A+. Gotta love it. Braden's still hanging out with us. Good afternoon, Braden, or good evening. B and a green heart. Gotta love it. Eddie McGuire with a B. B-Acon. B-Acon. Bacon. Gotta love it. Donkersloot with a B. Isaac with a B. Jonathan with a solid B. Sodak with an A. Sean, the Jets fan, B+. Beefy with a B-. I don't like Ibuka in the first round. Oh, it's so funny. I love Ibuka in the first round.
Yeah, I do too, I think.
But I love it.
I understand what he's
too.
saying. Yep. Completely hear what he's saying. I just love the player.
And the Ohio State, just commit to the gig. You know what I mean? I love it. Danger Zone with an A-. RB with a B+. No interest in trading for Pitts. Would take more picks. So he'd rather a fourth or something this year. Fifth, whatever. I hear that too. Also would not take 2 linebackers and 2 edge instead of another wide receiver and an interior offensive lineman. Makes sense.
All fair.
Yeah, fair. Harlan says C. 2 linebackers, 2 edges. But look where. That's key. You know what I mean? Look where you're doing it, man. If you're going to try to get a linebacker using a couple late round picks on it, nothing wrong with that. 1 defensive tackle, 1 offensive lineman. Yeah, we're looking at value though, where we were. But I hear you. And that's the way the cookie crumbled. Rich from Jersey, but I hear you. I totally hear you. Rich from Jersey. It's an A with 2 firsts. Right on. Chris Bradigan with a B+. This is pretty good. Pretty. You needed 1 more pretty to get the joke going, Bradigan. Pretty good. All right. AJ, best mock draft I've seen so far. Great job. All right. Yeah, everybody made really good points as to why you might not have liked it so much. Yeah. And the two edges, 2 linebackers, I get it. Dom, where do you stand on this fine little draft here?
Oh, man. So the first 4 picks are actually 4 guys that I absolutely adore. So just for reference sake, GreenBean. Let me pull this up real quick. Bada boom and bada bing. I can move this over here and do this. Emeka Buka is my 14th ranked player in the class. Josh Connerly is my 19th player in the class. Darius Alexander is my 30th player in the class. And where is Penn State safety? I thought I had. He's 45. So I got 4 of my top 50 in the class. And Bassa's not too far off either. Bassa is at 65. So I got 5 players in my top 75. That alone, although, I Sawyer, I don't think is a great player, but, the value is there. I like Hawes. We took a kicker. This has to be an A for me, man. Just these 4 picks alone, we could have stopped right there and traded picks 110 down for next year's draft.
Yeah, so it's an A.
It's an A. It's a solid A for me.
So I'll tell you what. Without the first next year, it would be a B, maybe even a B minus. But here's the thing: the top 4 picks, which is really what you got to hit on, right? If you're gonna, you know what I mean. If you're gonna do this right, I really like the top 4 picks. So we added Kyle Pitts again, not what he was billed to be as a tight end, but he's not a bum. So bringing him in there, that dynamic, Justin Fields loves the tight ends. And, who knows, man, new environment and the whole thing. Aaron Glenn. So anyway, I like that. It's, again, just like was said, it's not the needle mover for me, but I like it as the add-on for this year. It's more about the 2026 first. I really like that we got that out of this. I love Ibuka. So getting a first and Ibuka trumps Matthew Golden or, Tet McMillan or, if we're going that route. Like it just, I don't see it's like it's no brainer for me. That said, I think Gitmo Bob just put it up here. We only drafted 3 offensive players.
Well, and 4 if you count Pitts.
Well, exactly. So I was just gonna say exactly that. So you could say 4, but 2 of them are tight ends. So it's interesting, right? It's just interesting how it all fell. I like the players. I think we got some nice developmental guys. Sawyer and Bassa lead that pack for me as the developmental guys. I think we do need some edge help. We do need some linebacker helps, and but again, so it's going to be an A for me. Everything, the whole package. We get Kyle Pitts, we get the first next year, and that top 4 is strong. Darius Alexander, I'll admit I don't know as much about, so I'm going by largely by what you're saying. And again, I don't love the defensive tackle in the second when I would have, I would have much preferred some other directions. But that said, Kevin Winston, I love since we've been talking about him. You know what I mean? I've spent some time with Kevin. But anyway, yeah, I think we got some nice developmental stock. The top 4 are really good. We got a first for next year. Don't love the defensive tilts. It's significantly out of what do we got? 8, 9, 10 picks, and 7 of them are defense. Especially after really a predominantly defensive free agency. I would hate, like, if this was real, Dom, the messaging would be, we got another defensive minded organization. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what the messaging would be.
Well, the first 2 picks, your 2 primary picks were spent on the offense.
Correct.
And
that carries weight. You're right.
Yeah. And then you filled some holes. This is what I call this draft the hole filler.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's definitely an A for me too.
Yeah, it's an A.
When you add that first next year and Kyle Pitts, it's like it's hard to how can you know what I mean? You got to really be, unless you've done your scouting, you've done your evaluations, and you look at and you really don't like Alexander and Connerly or what do you know what I mean? Something like that. Then hey, I get it. But I hear all the grumps. I think they're all fair points. Yeah, look, AJ, is he really 24?
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts?
He is.
Sheesh. Yeah, he's only 24. And you look at it, like, let's just take a look for a second with Kyle Pitts. Who have the quarterback spin? He had Marcus Mariota, right?
Desmond Ridder. And then half a season of
Kirk Cousins. Who was his rookie quarterback?
I think it was, I don't know, somebody in the chat tell me who was the quarterback in 22. I don't tell me. I'll look it up myself, you bastards.
Let's see.
Falcons quarterback
2022. Yeah, let's see.
Desmond Ridder. Nope, Mariota started and Desmond Ridder took over.
So Kyle Pitts pulled off 1,000-yard season. Remember, he had his breakout game against us in London.
Yeah.
That's when we had JFM covering him, and he fucking burned him. Imagine that for a touchdown. Imagine that, everybody. So, yeah, I mean, like, look, Kyle Pitts, 24. I thought he was a little bit older than that. No. 24 years old, crazy athletic, has produced in the NFL. Again, he's not, our tight ends, when they get up to 500 yards, we want to fucking extend them 5 years around here. We don't see that shit. I mean, what did Conklin have last year? 500?
600, maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
And just remember, it was Conklin and Uzoma coming in as free agents. On why we didn't
taking Trey McBride.
That's right.
God, and now we want to trade the guy that we traded up, Brees Hall and the whole thing. It's just so sad. So he had 2024. Tyler Conklin had 51 receptions for 449 yards. Right? 400. Like Kyle Pitts, conversely, had I think he had more last year. Let's see. I'll tell you what he did. Let's do this for a second. You already sent that over to me?
I did.
You're fucking good. You're a good boy. You're good at it. Getting it done. Ooh. So here we go. Let me get that comment off real quick. Oops. All right. So first we got to look at this spray ad here real quick. All right. So here we go. Come on. So in 2021, he's played all 17 games. He had 110 targets, 68 receptions for 1,026 yards, only one touchdown. That was the one against JFM. Yep. Oh no, that was the next year, I think. But then he had 28 receptions. Looks like he was injured. He only played 10 games, so 356, 2 touchdowns. The next year he comes back with 53 receptions for 667. And last year he had 47 receptions for 602. So again, not the 4th overall pick, but he's not a bum. We've kind of categorized him, Dom, as like he's washed. He's not washed. And he's playing with Desmond Ridder and Marcus Mariota and half a season of Kirk Cousins and then Penix, who I really like. I think Penix is going to be good. But
you know what'll fix him, GreenBean?
Justin Fields. Yeah, that's the way. Super accurate, right? We know Justin Fields. But he does love his tight ends.
He does.
And Kyle Pitts can get open. So there it is. By the way, everybody, I want to just remind you that Vernon Golston had a total of 16 tackles in his Jets career and made $32 million.
What is that? What does that add up per tackle?
Per tackle. That's $2 million a tackle about, isn't it? Yeah.
32 million.
Imagine that. $2 million. It's $2 million.
By 16. Yeah, it's about $2 million a tackle.
$2 million a tackle, zero sacks. Then we cut him in 2010. Remember, Rex said, if anybody can fix this guy, I can fix this guy. Remember in Hard Knocks, he had that offensive lineman, I forget his name. He said he made him go fight him. Go pick a fight with Vernon. Remember that? And he said, we'll get him all fired up. And then Rex ends up cutting him. He's like, this guy's a complete waste of space. He got signed by the Bears right away Vernon Golston threw a shot at the Jets and said, "You're going to see. I'm going to make them pay. They'll regret this." The Bears cut him 1 month later, and that was the end of Vernon Golston.
And he's selling insurance somewhere. He's probably damn good at it too.
It's crazy, but he made $32 million. I mean, shit. Again, if you fucking just did it right, it's like you did it. You know what I mean? You did it.
The Patriots baited us into that pick, man.
Oh,
I'll never forget it.
well, we tried to trade up for Chris Long. We tried, but you know what happened? It's the best example. It's the best example of, at the end of every single Jet season when we're arguing with each other about whether to tank or whether to fucking win the game. You never root for your team to lose. One game that year, if we would have lost, it was like Miami or whatever it was. We won the last game of the year, I'm pretty sure it was. And that pushed us back 3 picks. And that was a 2007 draft. Let's take a look at it real quick. I'll tell you. Yeah, we went back 3, went from pick 3 to pick 6. And I'll tell you exactly who we missed out on. The Jets Mangini wanted Chris Long, which is a shame because the Mangini-Tannenbaum connection was fucking knocking it out of the park in the draft. DeBrick and Mangold, Harris, and they had Revis, and they were really doing well. But that's like the last pick that they did together, and it's like a stain. Although in that same draft, we did get Dustin Keller in the first as well.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what it was. Jamarcus Russell was the first overall pick. He did well. Calvin Johnson was pick 3. He's in the Hall of Fame. Joe Thomas, the tackle, was the 3rd overall pick. Wait, where's the Jets? Maybe this isn't the right draft. Hold on a second. No, this is come on. Wrong draft, Dom. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Thank you for letting me off the hook. I really. Yeah, there it is. Sorry. Here it was. So we went back. So at pick 3, they took Matt Ryan, the Atlanta Falcons. Chris Long went pick 2. So we wouldn't have gotten him anyway. We could have traded up from 3 to 2. It would have been a little easier. Darren McFadden was pick 4. Glenn. So really not honestly, the slide back didn't really kill us. But we could have got Gerard Mayo, Ryan Clady, Jonathan Stewart. Like, there's just so many. Obviously, you go down the draft, there's so many guys. But that was one of those things where it was like one game knocked us back 3 picks. They wanted Chris Long. That's who Mangini wanted that year. But anyway, I digress. No more Vernon Golston talk for tonight. So look, Dom, we got an A draft.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'll drop it in the morning on Twitter. The comparison with what Ryan and Tigo did. Remember, Ryan and Tigo picked them. They alternate picks, and so they got their draft versus your draft. Everybody.
So who did they pick? I didn't even see who they.
You want to see?
Yeah.
Let's see who they drafted. Let's see. I'll put it up here. See if you guys like it better than ours. So they did the same theme, as you guys know. All right, here it is. Whoops. So they got, oh my gosh, geez. Come on. What the fuck is going on here? Sorry, no, I don't want to save anything. Just open it. All right. Wow, so big. It's like, I don't know what's happening.
That's okay. You're good there.
No, but it's like weird. It won't scroll. All right, so obviously they got Kyle Pitts. They got pick 15 and around a 1 pick next year, just like we did. They started it off with wide receiver Matthew Golden. Looks like they didn't trade back, so they got Princely at. We got Prince. We didn't get him, did we?
We did.
Yes,
not.
we did. No, we did.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
All right, so they got their edge rusher at pick 42. Then they got tackle Ozzie Trapilo. Then they got Jeffrey Baza as well. They got Mitchell Evans, the tight end out of Notre Dame. I actually like him. Upton Stout, safety, and at pick 162. Jonathan Monheim, center out of South Carolina, pick 186. And They didn't do kicker. They got a wide receiver, Andrew Armstrong.
He's a good one too. He's your type of receiver, GreenBean. 6'3", 220, 4.2, 4.3 speed.
Wow. So, guys, put in there real quick in the chat, who's you like better, our draft or their draft?
Oh, ours kills theirs.
Yeah, ours stomps a fucking mud hole in this draft's ass, I think. But in the fairness, they were on PFF, so they would have had to initiate the trade. We had offers.
Yeah.
So a little bit different, but there it is. You can see it. So Matthew Golden or Abuka, Dom, if it's up to you, who are you taking?
I'm taking Abuka 10 out of 10 times.
What about, who did we do at 42?
Josh Connerly.
Connerly or Umanellan?
Umanmielen.
Umanmielen.
I have Connerly rated higher. I'll take Connerly.
All right. What about Trapillo versus, well, let's skip it. Go to our 73.
Kevin Winston? Take Kevin Winston.
Bassa or who'd we get there?
Savion Jones.
Yeah,
they're both good. They're both good. We got Bassa later, so I'll say Savion Jones.
Yeah, we got Bassa later. So Mitchell Evans, a tight end, or who we get? Who'd we get?
Hawes.
Yeah, you're taking Hawes over Mitchell Evans?
I am.
All right.
Yeah,
I don't know, actually.
Yeah,
I think I'm in the Evans camp on that one. Upton Stout. Who'd we get?
I forget.
Let me see. Oh, I don't know. I can't do it. Let me see. I can do it. Let me see. Did you send it to this email?
I sent it to the one I always send it to. Here, I got it right here. Ready? What pick number?
162.
That's where we took Jackson Hawes.
Okay, so yeah, all right. So then they got Jonathan Monheim at 186.
And we took Jack Sawyer. I'll take Jack Sawyer.
And then Andrew Armstrong at 207. And we got
Kobe King.
Oh, Kobe King.
I'll take Armstrong.
Yeah, me too. And then we got a bonus, the kicker.
Borgalis, baby.
Oh, we crushed them.
All
right, guys. That's going to do it. It's fucking late. It's late.
Yeah.
It's late. So, guys, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. We only got 2 more of these. Dom won't be with us next week. I wonder who I'll get to co-host with me. Maybe Braden from New Zealand come hang out. He'd be like, linebacker. We just took 2 linebackers.
Yeah. Fuck it. Take another one.
Braden. But we'll see who the co-host is next week. We'll see what the theme is next week. But then we got the final mock, and we'll do something fun for that. And then we got the real deal, baby. We are getting there. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us. Don't forget to show Dom C's channel some love, the Project Prospect with Dom C channel on YouTube. Also, you can follow Dom DC_New York Jets on Twitter, X. And the links are in the description of the video, guys. That's how you get there. If you haven't hit the like button to this channel, please do. The old milk them. I love them. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, it is greatly appreciated, guys. More than you realize. It's very important for the growth on YouTube. I'm grateful for you guys and your presence. Thanks for hanging out with us. With that all said, that's a wrap, Dom. Anything you want to let them know or before we go?
No. Don't miss me too much next week, guys. I'll be gone all week. So whoever the co-host is on Monday for 10 o'clock mock, give him hell. You don't know.
Yeah,
they don't know.
let them know. This guy's not as good. You're not as good as Dom.
That's it.
All
and
right,
then Gunny will have to carry the weight on next Thursday. I'll be here this Thursday, but Gunny will have to carry the weight next Thursday.
There you go. Gunny can do it. He can do it.
He can.
All right, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you next time.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8.
Johnny Lamb Jones, wide receiver.
ticket holder of the Jets.
I'm going to pull Ken O'Brien of California, Davis.
Obviously, the Jets know something that, the people up here don't.
Fullback, Roger Vick, Jeff Wagaman.
Jets just don't understand the dress all back.
Blair Thomas, running back, Penn State. Johnny Mitchell. The New York Jets select tight end from Penn State, Kyle Brady.
Vernon Golson. Cleveland traded the 5th pick to the New York Jets. And with the 5th pick in the 2009 NFL Draft, New York Jets select Mark Sanchez.
D.
Milner.
Smith. Jets select quarterback Christian Hackenberg.
Sam Darnold.